How does a brand go from the absolute brink of collapse to becoming one of the most valuable companies in the history of the world? Well, that's what we're digging into today. This is the incredible story of Apple. So let's just jump right in. I want you to picture this. The year is 1997. Apple, this icon of innovation, had only 90 days of cash left. 90. That's how close they were to just vanishing. And look, this wasn't some quiet internal problem. Oh no, the word was out. We're talking industry analysts, Wall Street, customers. Pretty much everyone agreed. The company was finished. For Apple, the game was over. So that's where our story really begins, on the brink. We're going to break down how one of the world's most innovative, most beloved companies found itself staring into the abyss. But to really understand the collapse, you got to go back to the beginning, right? This next part, from garage to chaos, is all about that journey, from a simple, world-changing idea to a total, devastating crisis. Yeah, Apple didn't start in some fancy high-rise. It literally started in a garage. And it was all powered by this belief that, at the time, was pretty radical, that computers should be for everyone. They should be personal, simple, and easy to use. And for a while, man, that belief worked like magic. You can see it on the timeline. The rise was just meteoric. But then, 1985, a huge mistake. The board forces out its own visionary founder, Steve Jobs. And by the mid-90s, whoa, the consequences were clear. The company was just bleeding cash and had completely lost its way. The real problem? It was all happening on the inside. You had a leadership team that was completely divided. The original creative vision was at war with corporate control, and the results? They were a disaster. Sales were plummeting, and maybe worse, confidence in the brand just evaporated. And then, right there at the edge of total failure, Apple made one single decision that would completely rewrite its future. This is the turning point of the whole story, the decision to focus. It was the one choice that literally changed everything. This slide just lays it out so perfectly. On one side, you've got the chaos of the past, trying to be everything to everyone with a leadership team that couldn't agree on anything. And on the other side, the new path forward, focus. The plan was simple: do fewer things, but do them perfectly, guided by beautiful design and a crystal clear vision. And that's really the heart of it. That was the core of the entire turnaround. Apple just stopped trying to do it all. Instead, it would do a few things and do them perfectly. You have to understand, this wasn't just some marketing slogan. This was a ground-up reinvention of their entire company philosophy. So, what did this new philosophy of focus actually create? Well, it built something way more powerful than just a new product line. It built a whole new ecosystem. And that is how a simple idea, focus, rebuilt an entire empire. The comeback didn't start with a whole wave of new gadgets. Nope, it all started with just one. A single product born from this new, intense sense of focus that changed absolutely everything. And the philosophy behind that one product was all about creating an emotional connection. See, the goal wasn't just about listing off tech specs anymore. It was about building things that connected powerful technology with real human emotion. So how'd they do it? It was basically a three-step process. First, you forge that emotional bond with a customer. Second, you use that bond to build an entire ecosystem, not just a bunch of separate products. And third, you make that whole ecosystem so seamless and intuitive that once people are in, they never want to leave. And the result of that incredibly focused strategy? Well, you know the result. Today, Apple is one of the most valuable and powerful brands in the history of the world. And you can draw a straight line from that success right back to that one single decision to choose focus over chaos. Because in the end, Apple's amazing victory, it wasn't really about having better technology. It was a victory of having better focus. It's a dramatic lesson for sure, but when you look at Apple's story, it's absolutely true. Which kind of leaves us with a big question to think about, not just for a giant company, but for any of us. Where is focus needed most in our own lives? And that's the story of Apple's great comeback. If you want more explainers that break down the stories behind the world's biggest brands and ideas, make sure you subscribe. We'll see you next time.